Before starting this video again, I will instruct you to be ready with your pen and paper. Lot of graphs. You have to understand the graph perfectly to understand the topic. Now first in a row today is relationship between total cost, total fixed cost and total variable cost relationship. Okay. Now you can see the graph over here, how total variable cost is drawn. It is drawn from the origin. First it is concave from the downwards, then concave from upwards. Now same way total cost is also behaving. It is concave from the downwards, then concave from upwards. Now from where total cost is drawn, can you see the total cost? Total cost is drawn from total fixed cost, a horizontal line to the x-axis. Can you see a horizontal parallel line to the x-axis? So that is what? That is total fixed cost. Fine. Now total cost is the sum of total fixed cost and total variable cost. That is what we have studied. Total cost is what? It is the sum total of total fixed cost plus variable cost. Difference between total cost and total fixed cost is total variable cost, while difference between total cost and total variable cost is what? Total fixed cost. That is what I have explained you. That is the gap between the total cost and total variable cost is equivalent to total fixed cost. Okay. Now TVC starts from its origin, as TVC is 0 when output is 0. TC and TFC starts from point O, which is above the origin. Fine. So what is the TC and TFC? Can you see they are starting from which point? They are starting from point A, which is above the origin, as TFC can never be 0. Hence at 0 level of output, TC, that is total cost, is equals to TFC. Fine. TC and TVC curves are parallel to each other, as their difference is total fixed cost, which remains fixed for all level of output. Just now I explained you that is the difference between the two curves, that is total cost and total variable cost is same, and the difference is what? Total fixed cost. So that is why they go parallel to each other. Now the gap between total cost and total fixed cost curve increases continuously as TVC rises with the level of output. Total variable cost, you know, it will keep on rising when your more and more unit of output will produce. So that is why the gap between TC and TFC curve increases continuously. Okay. Now total cost and total variable curve initially rise at a diminishing rate, then at an increasing rate due to law of variable proportion. We have studied in a law of variable proportion. So initially what happened? Initially it is diminishing. Why? We have studied the formula very well. Why? It is dividing with the output which is being produced. So in the initial stage output is more, so that is why it is diminishing. Later on output decreases, so it is increasing rate. Fine. So it is as per the law of variable proportion. Now we will go for long run cost. Now in long run we know all the factors of production becomes what? Variable. Fine. Hence long run cost is the least or minimum cost of producing each level of output. Fine. Now we will go through how many types of long run cost are there. First is what? Long run average cost. Now what is the meaning of long run average cost? Long run average cost is what? Is an envelope of different SAC. What is SAC? That is short run average cost. When the firm can shift from one point to another, every point on the LAC curve is a tangency point between the SAC curve and the LAC curve. The LAC curve is the locus of all such tangency points. It is shown in the term of the following diagram. Now see, it is tangent to LAC. See the big curve. The big curve is what? LAC. Okay, and the small curves is what? SAC. Now you can see many SAC. SAC, that is short run average cost. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 likewise. It is tangent. It is tangent means it is every short run is touching the long run. Can you see? Now we will find out the locus. Now what do you mean by locus? Math students can understand this well, but for everyone I will explain. Locus means the mid of all this short term, that is short run average cost. Fine. So we will find out the mid of such tendency point. Tendency point means these different short runs. Okay, so that is short run average cost which we have prepared. Now all these different short run average cost, we will find the midpoint of all this. Okay, is it clear? Now let's understand the meaning of LMC. Now what is LMC? That is long run marginal cost. It is same as short run marginal cost. That is additional cost of producing an extra unit. However, long run marginal cost represents the minimum possible cost that needs to be incurred on production of each additional unit. Okay, so this is the, long run is a minimum cost which we are incurring. So that is why even long run marginal cost, it shows the minimum possible cost which every unit of production will be added. Okay, you can see the graph is U-shaped as it is. Fine. So it has not been drawn from the origin up. It acts as per the law of variable proportion. You can check out. Now we'll study the shape of LAC, that is long run average cost and long run marginal cost. Now LAC curve, long run average cost curve, is the per unit cost of factors of production used in a long run. It is obtained by dividing long run total cost with the level of output. We know very well that is what we divide. We divide with the average cost upon output. So that is what they said. They are using long run total cost. This is what we have done in the case of total cost. That is how to find out average cost. We have divided total cost with the total level of output. So that is what they have done. Here they have taken only long run. Okay. Now it is also known as envelope curve, as it is the sum of different short run average curve. It is U-shaped. Up we have already seen that there are different short run. So it is envelope. Envelope means it is a cover of all that. Okay, so that is why it is U-shaped. Fine. Now long run marginal cost curve. Now long run marginal cost curve indicates only a change in total variable cost for producing an additional unit of output. It is also a U-shaped curve. Fine, we have already checked out that it is a U-shaped curve. There is a reason. It is because it behaves with the behavior of law of variable cost. Now let's understand the relationship between LAC and LMC. When LAC is greater than LMC, average cost falls with increase in output. Okay. Next is when LAC is equals to LMC, average cost is constant. When LAC is less than LMC, average cost increases with increase in output. This is very simple. Once you will read out, you will understand the relationship very well. Now so far we were going through the cost, different types of cost and the meaning and everything related to that. Now we will go on with revenue. Now what revenue is exactly? It refers to money received of the producer from the sale of his output in a given period of time. Revenue is different from the profit. It can be calculated as. Now what is revenue actually? Revenue is the sum total of what? The cost which has been incurred on the production plus the profit, normal profit which has been earned on the product, or you can say commodity. So what is the formula for revenue? Formula for revenue is equals to cost plus profit. Okay. Now we'll go on with the concept of revenue. Now what are the different concepts? Concept of revenue has three variants. That means three variations, which are that is total revenue, average revenue and marginal revenue. Now what do you mean by total revenue? It refers to the total amount of money, income received by the firm from selling a given amount of his output. Okay. Now total revenue is calculated by what? By multiplying price with the quantity. Fine. Is the concept clear? What is total revenue? Total revenue is total amount of money, income which the producer received from selling of the product at a given period of time. Okay, so do remember the formula. Formula is price into quantity sold. Price, that means price of per unit. No doubt we will multiply with a per unit. Suppose you have sold 10 unit of 5 rupees each, so it will be 5 into 10. Okay, P into Q. Now average revenue. What is average revenue? It refers to the revenue received. That is what we say. Revenue received is what? That is earned. Okay, above we have studied. Per unit of output sold. Fine. It is calculated by dividing total revenue with the unit of output sold. Average, to find out average, we have already studied how we will find out the average. We will find out total upon the unit sold, or you can say quantity sold. So total here is what? In case of average revenue, total is total revenue. So we will take total revenue upon unit of output sold, that is Q, quantity. Am I clear? Now average revenue curve is firm's demand curve. Fine, we have studied demand curve. So average revenue is what? Equivalent to firm's demand curve. Firm's demand curve is a curve showing relationship between price of the product and the quantity demanded in the market. We know for a firm price is equals to average revenue, and the average revenue curve shows the relationship between price and output in the market. Accordingly, we can state that firm's demand curve is the same as average revenue curve of the firm. We have already studied that it is straight away related with the demand, right? It shows the relationship between the price and the demand. That means if price increases, demand decreases. That is what we have studied so far, right? So that is what it is. It is average revenue which shows the particular price and demand relationship of the firm. Now next is marginal revenue. Marginal revenue, everyone knows very well, it is the additional unit, right? Now it measures the additional revenue that is generated by selling the extra unit of output. Now what do you mean by extra? That is additional. Okay, so when you sell the additional unit of output, that is the extra unit of output, then it is what you will get? Then you will get marginal revenue. Now marginal revenue can be calculated by dividing the change in total revenue. We have already studied extra. Extra unit means the change in total revenue. Okay, so it will be calculated by dividing what? Change in total revenue with change in unit of output sold. Okay, so that is del TR upon del Q, or you can say as usual TRN minus 1. That is TRN is previous total revenue and current total revenue. The difference of two will be what? Marginal revenue. Fine. Now negative marginal revenue. We have already studied that after zero marginal revenue becomes negative, right? That is what we have studied, but it is possible only when prices declining under monopoly or monopolistic competition. Why not in perfect competition? Because in perfect competition prices constant. Okay, later on in forms of market chapter we will study in detail about perfect competitive market, but for time being you understand that perfect competitive market is a market where many sellers are there. Now due to as there are many sellers, there is a competitive price. That means there is a competition between the price. So no doubt nobody changed the price, some or less near about everyone keeps the same price. So price is constant. Okay, now relationship between average revenue and marginal revenue under perfect competition. Under perfect competition, firms are able to sell only at a fixed price. That is what right now we have studied, right? Under perfect competition, prices are fixed. As a result, average revenue and marginal revenue becomes equal. Can you see in the graph average revenue and marginal revenue? They both are equal. Both the curves are horizontal line parallel to x-axis. Can you see a horizontal parallel line to x-axis? That is average revenue and marginal revenue. Now average revenue and marginal revenue also represents demand curve of the firm. So this is demand curve also. So average revenue, marginal revenue is a price also, and it is the demand curve also. Next is relationship between total revenue and marginal revenue under perfect competition. Now, as under perfect competition, price cannot be changed by the firm, hence it remains constant. Okay, marginal revenue is the rate of change of total revenue. As marginal revenue remains constant, total revenue increases but at a constant rate. That is, it is a straight line from the origin. Can you see the total revenue? It is straight going up. Okay, so that is a total revenue. Now, relationship between average revenue and marginal revenue under imperfect competition. Now, in imperfect competition, firms can sell more only by lowering price of the commodity. Now, imperfect competition means here the price is not competitive. So, how the seller can go for maximum sales? Only by reducing the price of the commodity. So, as a result, both average revenue and marginal revenue are downward sloping. Relationship between average revenue and marginal revenue under perfect competition is stated below. That is what we are going to check out. Now you can check out the graph also, see if they both are downward sloping. Fine, average revenue and marginal revenue. As price is changing, you can see that marginal revenue is turned negative after 0, right? So marginal revenue always is what? Lies below average revenue. Fine. Next is what? Slope of marginal revenue is half of slope of average revenue. The gap between them will be half always. Okay. Now marginal revenue can become 0 or even negative. That is what we can see in the graph. Okay. At one point marginal revenue is what? 0. And after 0, what is it? It has turned negative. But do remember, average revenue cannot be negative. Okay. So why it can't be negative? As average revenue is what? Is a price. Okay. Now at the midpoint of average revenue, marginal revenue becomes equals to 0. Okay. So marginal revenue is 0 when? At the midpoint of average revenue. Can you check out? See a straight line which has been drawn between average revenue and marginal revenue. That is the midpoint of average revenue. Okay. Now below the midpoint of average revenue, marginal revenue becomes negative. We know very well, as soon as marginal revenue is 0, later on it will turn negative. Now we'll check out the relationship between total revenue and marginal revenue under imperfect competition. As under imperfect competition, we know that price does not remains constant, right? Now as a result, marginal revenue is also not constant. So how will be the relationship? See, you can check out the graph. See, we have already studied in this total product and marginal product. It is likewise. Okay. The only thing is this is total revenue and marginal revenue. When marginal revenue falls but remains positive, total revenue increases though at a diminishing rate. Right? When marginal revenue reaches 0, total revenue reaches its maximum point and remains constant. When marginal revenue becomes negative, total revenue falls. You can see in graph also, at one point of time, what is that? Total revenue is what? At the maximum. When it is maximum, marginal revenue is 0, and when total revenue is falling, marginal revenue turns negative. So it is same as we have done previously in case of total product and marginal product. Now we'll understand the relationship between TR, that is total revenue, marginal revenue and average revenue, all three together under perfect competition. Okay. Since a firm under perfect competition is not required to reduce the price while selling more units of output, AR is constant at all the level of output. AR is horizontal straight line parallel to x-axis. That is what we have studied. Since the market price is unaffected by the firm's sell, marginal revenue will be equal to average revenue, right? Now no doubt MR will be equal to AR and even it will be constant always. Constant, that means you can see a horizontal parallel line. It is constant all around, right? That means AR is greater than MR. AR is also called price line or demand curve. So it is also called what? Price line or demand curve. Fine. So AR is equals to MR also, and even it is a price line, even it is a demand curve. Okay. TR changes with change in output since price is constant. TR, that is total revenue. Price is constant, but then total revenue, it changes because you know very well as the output is changing. That means the production at least is changing. TR varies in direct proportions to output. Direct proportion to output means if output is increasing, your revenue is also increasing. This is what it is being considered. TR is a straight line from the origin positively sloping as determined by the price of AR, that is average revenue. TR passes through origin because at zero output TR is 0. So we consider that TR is 0 when your output is 0 here in case of perfect competition. Now the one which we have studied behind, same we will check out in the schedule. See, that is what it is. Price is 15, unit is 1. You can see TR, AR, MR. They all are 15, right? Now what we are doing, we are studying perfect competition. Now perfect competition states what? It states AR and MR is equal. So if AR and MR at point 1, that is output 1 is 15. So throughout it will go 15. Equally price will be the same. This is what we have studied. All three are constant. Price, AR, MR. So all three, when at unit 1 it is 15, throughout it will be 15. What will change? Total revenue, right? Now what we have studied, the formula of total revenue. The formula of total revenue is price into output, that is quantity, that is 15 into 20. So that is what you can see total revenue is changing in the schedule. Now relationship between TR, AR and MR under imperfect competition. That is what we will see, relationship between TR and MR in imperfect competition. Okay, you can check out the graph very well. See, you can check when your TR is at the max, MR is what? 0 and AR is no doubt reducing. Okay. Now after TR is turning diminishing, or you can say is reducing. So what is that? That is MR is negative. Okay. Now let's check out the relationship. When TR increases, MR is positive but decreasing. When TR is maximum, MR is 0. When TR falls, MR becomes negative. Likewise, we will check out the relationship between AR and MR. As long as AR is falling, MR must be less than AR. Okay. When AR is a straight line, MR is also a straight line, but the rate of fall of MR will be twice as much as the rate of fall of AR. Fine. So MR is falling twice compared to AR. Okay. And you know at the midpoint of AR, MR is 0, and later to that, when MR turns after 0, MR turns negative. Okay, but AR is never negative. It is always positive. Am I clear? So this is end of the topic. I know video has turned a long. Okay, but then I want to finish up all the topics and cover up all the topics in detail.